time is 6:04. Appreciate everybody joining us this evening. We've got a lot of minutes to go through, and so we'll try to make the shortest work we can of that. I'm going to suggest that we start with the most recent, the 2024 minutes beginning March 18th. Corey sent over.
Reception is not good, Brian.
Francine sent over one. We'll do those in order and knock those out first. And the reason I want to suggest committee during the earlier years where these. Okay, let me just try something here. I apologize. Bear with me. I'm going to turn off my automotive audio entirely if I can.
Okay. How's that? Is that any better?
A little bit.
You're not breaking up, but you're pretty quiet.
Yeah, I literally can't hear a thing now. I am not sure what to do about this audio.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
There, I can hear you now. Okay.
Good.
Can you hear me, Ralph?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Is the reception any better?
It's fine.
Yes.
Fine.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to dumb this down. I was on my hands-free in my car and that was not working. So now I am directly on my cell phone. Okay, so I was just going to suggest we do the 2024 minutes first because Corey was not here for the older minutes. And so we'll do these first and then he'll have the ability to drop and the rest of us will continue with the older minutes. So what I'd like to suggest is we just go through these in chronological order. The first set of minutes that are up actually, before we jump in, first of all, who's going to be taking minutes for today? Francine, are you able to do this, or do we need Corey to do this? Who's taking minutes for today?
I will.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure because we're going to have a lot of votes here. Unfortunately, there's different people that are going to vote different things based on their attendance at these different meetings that now need to be you need to have the minutes approved. So let's just start chipping through this. The first set of minutes is March 18th, 2024. I only had one comment on this, and that is in the 1, 2, 3,
I'm sorry, Brian. I don't think we did a roll call vote to open the meeting, did we?
You're absolutely right, Francine. Thank you. I'm a little frazzled here, as everybody can tell. So let's start with that roll call vote, roll call attendance, that is. We'll start with you, Francine.
Francine Lyons here.
Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin here.
Corey Evans.
Corey Evans here.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer here.
And Brian Host here. And Ralph, you will be a voting member tonight across all items where you attended. I think it's just simpler to do it that way. There are definitely going to be places where we need your vote. And instead of having you vote some and not others, I think it's just easier to make you the fifth vote on the committee for tonight. We have the flexibility to do that. And any meeting you attended, please, please cast your vote because we're going to need you on a few of them just to have a quorum. And now let's jump back into March 18th. So in the 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph down, 1, 2, 3, fourth line, it said reviewed cost estimates for a repair effort. I just want to insert the words reviewed town's preliminary cost estimates. These were not the petitioner's cost estimates. And I just don't want there to be any confusion about that.
Easy to do.
Do you see the spot there, Francine? Does anyone else have any other comments on the minutes from March 18th? That's a resounding silence. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 18th, including the as amended.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Great. And the vote will, the vote will just include people who attended this. So that includes Corey and Susan. Okay, so let's do this in order. Susan Franklin,
Franklin, aye.
Corey
I'm
Evans,
sorry.
Corey Evans, aye.
Brian Host, aye, and Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Great. So Francine, you weren't here for that one, so I skipped you. Let's move on to April Fool's Day. April 1, 2024. I had no comments. Does anyone else have comments?
Nope.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Great. Do we have a second?
Second,
That's you, Francine? Okay. So
Yep.
roll call vote. Susan Franklin,
Franklin, aye.
Corey Evans,
Corey Evans, aye.
Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons.
Francine Lyons, aye.
Okay. And it looks like you missed that one, Ralph. So I think that's everybody that was there. Next is April 10th. I have no comments. Does anyone have any comments? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
I just have one tiny little, the word "the" is twice in the on parentheses, at the last paragraph.
We'll strike that. We can file that under clerical error,
Clerical error. So we've got a
drafting error.
Got-
Yeah.
we've got a motion, we've got a second, and we'll do a roll call vote, including the correction of that clerical error. So Susan Franklin,
Franklin, aye.
Corey Evans,
Corey Evans, aye.
Brian Host, aye, Ralph Dormitzer.
I don't think, I have to go back and look at that one. I don't think I was either available or I was the sixth person. I don't remember which it was.
You're
It
absolutely
doesn't-
right.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
You were the sixth person, Ralph, but for approving it, I think that you can still vote tonight to approve it as an observer
Correct.
of the meeting.
Okay, all right. Aye. Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
And Francine Lyons?
Francine Lyons, aye.
That was April 10th. Next up is April 25th. Those are going to be coming from Francine in the future. Next up is May 1st. I had a couple of clarifications on this. In the second paragraph, Corey, the last line, the additional 500,000 earmarked from 2025 ATM. I'd just like to change that to say from fall 2023 STM.
It was special, right? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
it was the fall of 2023. And I
Special.
I want to say fall because, just to clarify that it was then and not the calendar 2023 STM, which is actually in 2022.
Absolutely. Yep. I had that wrong. Yep.
So I had that change, and then on the next page, fourth paragraph down, it was $40,000 for Parker Avenue. I think that's the roof, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Okay.
And then the paragraph after that, I just had a question mark on that. I don't understand or recall what that was for. The motion to amend the vote for 90,000 to 225. The 90,000, the only thing I can think of is the school bus lease, and we certainly didn't throw 225,000 at the school bus. Sorry?
So Brian, the 90,000 was the sewer. So they only needed $90,000, but the way it had to be written for the award was $225,000.
Right.
Okay. So let's clarify what that was. Motion to amend vote for 90,000 for sewer to 225.
Yes.
Does that fix it? That was it for my comments. Does anyone else have anything else? Okay. So with those amendments, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Oh,
Do we
sorry.
have a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Corey Evans,
Corey Evans, aye.
Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Brian Host, aye. Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay. That's May, and then we move on to May 6th. Now the actual minutes from May 6th are labeled May 1st. So there are two sets of minutes labeled May 1st. The second set needs to just be corrected to say May 6th.
Yeah, I copied the document. That's why. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Just that one amendment. I had no other comments. Did anyone else have any other comments?
So which one is this one? Is this one May 6th or May 1st? The one looking at?
Well,
May
there's
6th.
two sets labeled May 1st, Ralph.
I saw the discrepancy. So this one, the one that says 607 meeting and
Yes,
discusses the MAAB board, that's a May 6th one.
that's correct.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
Yeah.
going to amend that to say May 6th.
Yeah.
We have any other comments or corrections?
It's on the bottom. It says that I moved it and seconded
Uh-oh.
at
Word.
7:06, just to adjourn, but
Interesting.
Let's shelf that one. I'll go back through the tape and I'll amend that one. I'll get the date right too.
Okay. Corey, can when we in a minute we're going to be done with these. Can you possibly pull up your notes on that and do that while we get into the older minutes and then just interrupt us when you have the answer, or is this something you have to come back with?
I'll have to come back with. I'm not going to be back on my computer for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
So
Got it. Okay. So I just want to okay. So let me just circle that and flag it for another day.
Yep.
We will not be continuing this in an hour and a half at the rate we're going. Okay. So next up are okay. Third, I had no comments.
Wait a minute, can we, I'm sorry, can we stop for a second? First,
Sure.
did we not vote on those? I'm trying to keep up on the 5-6 minutes that we need to amend the date because it says 5-1 at the top. We're not voting on them.
Correct, because we don't know who
Okay.
made the motion and seconded the motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll go back and get that right.
Just a quick question, guys. Do we really need to have a second on a motion to adjourn? I'm not sure that's required.
I don't know. Good question,
Sure.
Ralph.
Yeah.
I thought every motion had to be seconded, but that may be something that may be a quirk I'm not aware of. I'll look it up, Ralph. That's cool.
Okay, if
That'd
so,
be
it
great
makes
if
it
it is.
easier, right? Yeah.
You have your rules book there handy, Corey?
No,
Shucks.
I'm at a step in front of a dentist's office.
I was
Last time
hoping we could approve this and make it go away one way or the other. But Ralph, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
I mean, we can approve it. A pending correction of that. Again, we'll just call it a clerical error, drafting error.
Actually, let's do that. We just
Okay.
need to get the right name. All the substance in this is accurate, and this is not anything that affects any operation of the town. So it's just a clerical issue. Let's go ahead and approve the minutes pending clarification of who made the motion and seconded the motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so moved.
So with that amendment, you've moved it, Corey. Do we have a second?
second,
Okay, and let's do a roll call vote on that. Corey Evans,
Corey Evans, aye.
Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Brian Host, aye. Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Great. Thanks for the suggestion, both of you, getting us to a vote on this so that it can move forward, or all three of you. Okay, so June 3rd, which is the pre-meet from annual town meeting. I had no comments on this. Does anyone have any comments on this? Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the minutes as they appear?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Susan. And we'll do a roll call vote. Corey Evans.
Corey Evans, aye.
Who's Corey? Thank you. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Brian Host, aye. And Ralph,
We're losing you again. Yeah.
You're breaking up pretty badly.
voting, but I think you can vote to approve the minutes.
I
Better to do
don't,
it than not.
this is one I probably can't. I really abstained. So, or at least
Yeah.
so I don't think so. I
Okay,
think we can't do that.
that's fine.
We have 3 members still.
That's completely fine, Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay, can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try not to move. Let me do that. Okay, so that is it for the 2024 minutes. Corey and Francine, thank you both for pulling these together. Corey, I think your tour of duty on this meeting is complete at this point. We're going to be going into older minutes, so you feel free to drop.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you as well. Okay, now we get into the older minutes. And I just stacked these in chronological order. They certainly didn't print that way, but I just thought it was the easiest way to go through them. So I will start with November 29th of 2021. The only thing that jumped out at me on these, and I think it was literally just votes on the reorganization, and I don't know if we can actually have 6 votes on a reorganization. Does anyone technically know the answer to that question?
So where are we right now? What minutes are you on?
Yeah,
November
29th,
29th, Ralph,
2021.
2021.
Okay. Hmm.
And looking at the bottom of the page, we did our reorganization in that meeting, and we had a 6-0 vote, including you as the associate member. And I can't imagine. Well, I don't want to speculate, but I've never seen a 6-0 vote. You know, a 6-party vote before, a formal 6-party vote. We certainly get your, ask for your vote on everything just to understand where you are. But I think this should probably be reflected as a 5-0 vote and not include your name in the votes. I think. Rob, do you have a perspective on that, or does anyone else?
No, you can't have 6 votes, actually. You can only have 5 authorized votes. That's all. You really can't. Our bylaws don't allow for it.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any exemption for a reorg, and it doesn't look like anyone abstained, either Michael or myself or Francine, on any of these appointments. So I think what we have to do is just simply scratch, down at the bottom of the page where we did the roll call vote, in the last 2 paragraphs, scratch Ralph Dormitzer as aye and change the vote to 5-0. And the same is true in the adjournment on the last paragraph on the last page. So I don't have any other comments on this. Does anyone else?
no, I don't.
Okay. So with these amendments, including these amendments, would someone like to make a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Susan. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Francine. We'll do a roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, I.
Francine Lyons.
Francine Lyons, aye.
And Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, thank you. On to December 6th, 2021. I had no comments. Does anyone else have any other comments? Okay. would someone like to make a motion?
Motion, so moved, sorry.
Ralph or Susan?
That
Well,
was
actually,
Francine.
Francine, you weren't here for this one, December 26th,
Oh,
2020.
wait a
So it has to
minute,
be Susan or Ralph.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
okay, move the minutes of December 6th, 2021.
Second,
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote, Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, aye.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. Okay, we're on to January 24th, 2022. Does anyone have any comments? All right. The attendees were Brian Host, Francine Lyons, and Ralph Dormitzer. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Susan, you weren't here for this one.
Oh, wasn't
You
there? That's
can't.
right. Whoops, sorry. I'm looking at it.
Second.
So moved, so
January
moved.
24th. So Francine and Ralph, would one of you like to
Second,
move?
second, second.
You'd like to second, please. Thank you. Okay, roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons.
Francine Lyons, aye.
Francine Lyons.
Fran-
Thank you. Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. It's 3-0. Next up, we've got, so Francine, I'm just going to pause for a second. I hear you clicking furiously. Are we moving too fast? I just want to make sure that we're not ripping through this in a way that's creating discomfort.
Yeah, no, I'm okay right now.
I think the key thing though, Brian, is give us time to pull them up so I can look at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Thank you, yeah, I agree with Ralph, thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Apologize. I realize you guys are doing this digitally. I went old school and actually printed these out, so I'm literally just ripping through a stack of pages.
That's a lot of paper.
So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, so next up we got January 31st, 2022. And just if everyone could let me know when they're ready to go.
Wait a minute, what was the date you said? Sorry.
January 31st, 2022 was the next that I.
Oh, January 31, okay, I see it, yeah.
You might want to put an M and in the water capital budget after the 2.63. Looks like it's $2.63.
So who prepared
Yes.
these? Oh, okay.
So this was Leontina. Michelle Leary hired, outsourced this to Leontina to listen to our meetings on Fast Forward and Chipmunk Speed and make minutes.
Got it.
So just while you're pulling that up, Michelle Leary, are you still on? Looks like we may have lost her. So I'll have to get these comments over to her and make sure that they get into the into the final filed copies. So are we ready on with January 31st?
I've got two sets of minutes here, one of which Corey sent in, the other Michelle sent in. Where are you picking these up? Which one of the two groups?
They should be identical. They should be the same. They may not be in the same order, but literally Corey forwarded what Michelle had forwarded.
Okay. You flip up here. Boy, they're completely out of order here.
Yes. Corey's were at least. I don't know if Michelle's were as well, but yes, they were completely out of order.
Yeah, I got them. I have the one you're
and that's
talking
why I
about.
printed them. That's why I printed them, Ralph. I couldn't.
This
My
is
brain
it.
couldn't handle it, so I printed them all out and I put it.
I certainly got it anyway. Let's see.
Yeah,
But it's completely it's totally out of order. It's unreal. Okay. Water project, DPW. The only thing you did in that whole meeting, in fact, was just to move the approval of previous minutes. Everything else was a discussion.
I mean, most of our meetings are discussions. We usually only vote right before the town meetings and the appropriations after we have it all sorted out.
Yeah, so this really is one that's just a narrative, quite frankly.
Yes, very much so. Yep. Okay, so everyone has this. Would somebody like to? I have no comments. Susan's one comment has been is set forth for amendment. Does anyone else have any other comments? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Thank you, Francine and Ralph. We'll do a roll
Second.
call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
And Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we've got the minutes of February 7th, 2022. I'll give people a moment to pull these up.
Yeah. Again, no action specifically other than to vote to approve minutes, I believe here, as far as I can see.
That's correct, Ralph.
Yeah, so then move the minutes of February 7th, 2022.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Francine. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay. That was February 7th. Next is February 10th of 2022. Give everyone a minute to pull these up.
Gotta find them first. So here we go. You know, the only thing we did is just adjourn. I don't see anything else in this whole thing. It's just
Yep.
a discussion.
Mhm.
That's correct. No comments for me. Does anyone else have any comments or amendments?
No,
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I moved.
Second,
Thank you, Susan and Ralph. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
And Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. Next we have February 28th, 2022.
Me.
Everyone had a chance to pull these up and glance at them?
Not yet.
I don't see 2/8. I see 2/7.
So it's February 28th is what it was?
February 28th, 2022.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Got it.
No comments from me.
Does anyone have any comments?
No.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Moved.
Thank you, Francine. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, aye.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Next, we have March 7th of 2022. Everybody had a chance to find it and glance at it?
Haven't found it yet.
Okay.
Yes. It was 3/7/2022, right?
Correct.
I don't even show it.
It was definitely on the one that Corey sent over because that's the one that I used to print it.
Let me pull up his then.
Okay.
Because I don't see it in Michelle's.
And yes, they were woefully out of order.
It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Hate to tell you guys, I don't see it. Maybe there, but I don't see it. Trouble is, many of these do the dates. I have to actually don't have to open them, but I have to actually highlight them before I can even find the dates. This is really not well done.
Are you on the OneDrive, Ralph, or are you?
No, I'm just on the ones that right now I moved over to the ones that Corey Evans sent. Okay, so I figured, well, I have them there. And the way they're sent, they're so random, and because some of them don't have the dates, and some it doesn't show unless I highlight it. It's really a pain in the neck to try to figure out which one without flipping through all of these darn things repeatedly. This is a completely waste of time.
Let me see if I can find out which one it is for you, Ralph. Just bear with me because we actually need your vote on this. Francine was not at the March 7th, 2020.
Yeah, if it's here, I don't have it. Believe it or not. It's what's left here. There's from Corey Evans. I can go back to Michelle's.
Yeah, it's definitely in Corey's because that's where I got it. But bear with me. See if I can find it.
Just emailed to your Gmail, Ralph.
Say it again, Susan.
I just emailed them to your Gmail account.
Oh, sure, I can pick it up then. Let me get it there. Have you got
So-
a complete different list? Or is the
So,
entire
so
list?
Ralph, on Corey's email, it's the fourth one down.
Okay, let me go back to Corey's. Let me see. Susan, did you send everything in, or what did you send?
No, I just sent that one.
Just the one. Okay, let me go back to, okay, let me just look at that specific one. And unfortunately, it's not going to come in very quickly, so it's not here yet. Let me go back. Let me go back to Corey. So it's the fourth one down from the top.
It's
is it?
the fourth one down, yeah.
Is it 3-7?
Correct.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a minute.
Again, this is not a decision meeting, so.
Correct. Let me know when you're ready.
Just a quick one. I can move this one, but after that, the question is, how many more of these are we going to try to do tonight this way?
I would just try to knock them all out. I mean, we're 2/3 of the way through at this point.
Okay, see if you can make it somehow figure out where they are more quickly within the list. If you have a way of actually finding where they are, fourth down, fifth down, sixth
Yeah,
down.
I can do that, Ralph. I can
Okay,
totally do
'cause
that.
it's just too much trouble to actually do this and too slow. So anyway, move the meeting of March 7th, 2022.
Do we have a second, Susan? Sorry, Susan, did you second?
Brian, I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was just asking for a second, but I already seconded.
Oh, okay.
So Ralph moved it, I seconded. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, aye.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, so that's March 7th, and next we're going to move on to March 14th, which should be the next one on Corey's list, Ralph, right after the March 7th.
Okay.
Let me know when you've got it.
Yeah, I've got to go back to his list.
It looks like you weren't there, Ralph, on that one, March 14th.
Oh, that makes it easy.
Yeah, so
So, but you were Francine, so it's just
I
the
was,
three of
yep.
us.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so I had no comments on this one.
I'm just skimming through. No comments.
But
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Francine. Do we have a second?
second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Great. Okay, our next set of minutes are going to be March 21st of 2022. It looks like we made no votes that day. Brian, Francine, Susan, Ralph in attendance. So Ralph, on Corey's email, this is going to be number one,
This is what, March 22nd you got?
March 21st of
March
2022.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at 23.
I
All
don't
right.
see it. Yeah, I see it 22nd.
Yeah, so that's 2023 right after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on,
Yep.
hold on a second. Hold on. Where the heck is it? I've got a March 21st of 2022. Where is it? How's that possible?
I think it's the 12th file down, at least in my email, the way I'm looking at it.
Your email from Corey?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's just corrected.
three,
Yeah.
yes, that's what it
Yeah.
says, yeah.
Okay, that's why it doesn't have the date in the title.
That's 3/21/2022, that's what I have, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the 12th one down.
Yeah, I've got it, right.
Susan, you got it?
I do.
Okay. And
The irony of this one is everything's ready to be voted, nothing gets voted.
almost
time.
everything's ready to be voted. There are a bunch that have notes here, but your point is accurate, which leads me to a question, which we don't seem to have a set of minutes for the actual votes in the spring of 2022. It's very odd to me. So it looks like we're missing a set. But we clearly didn't vote these in this meeting. So if everyone's had a moment to review, we can, when ready, somebody can make a motion to approve.
Well, this is the strangest one. Obviously, we had a set of agreements on everything, and yet we didn't vote it. I don't understand that.
I do recall this meeting, oddly enough. I mean, we were taking inventory of what still needed work in order to vote. So we didn't vote, but we had an open discussion as to whether or not an item was ready to vote, and most items were.
Okay, all right.
And then I think we did we basically did clean up for a week or two, and we came back and voted the slate.
Okay. Anyway,
And that
move
seems to be
the minutes of
missed.
March 21st, 2022.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Francine. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons.
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Rob Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. So that brings us to October 6th of 2022. Is the next set I have. Yeah, chronologically anyway. That is closer to the bottom than the top. Hold on. It's 9 from the bottom.
This is 10/6/2022.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Does everybody have it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments? Then I will entertain a motion. Actually, it's just you and I, Susan.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the this is going to be a necessity to vote quorum, which is permitted in a situation of necessity, and given the resignation, this is the only way to proceed. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve these minutes. Susan, would you like to second?
Second.
Thank you. And roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Okay, that's it for October 6th. Next, I've got October 13th of 2022, which is next one down the list on Corey's email. That's 8th from the bottom.
So I was not there, right?
Yeah, it looks like this also is just Susan and myself on the 13th.
Yeah.
So, Susan, are you able to find it?
Yep, I have it.
Okay. I have no comments. Do you have any comments?
Nope.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Would you like to second?
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Susan? Thank you. And that brings us to October 27th, which fortunately is next one down the list. It's so helpful when they appear in order. Hopefully everybody's able to find it. I've got no comments. Does anyone else have comments?
Let's see. This one's 1026, is it?
10/27 of October of 2022.
My only comment is, what exactly are they getting the architects for the school department request? It just says request with specifications were sent out. Was that the door project on the Osgood School, possibly?
Yes, it was. Yeah, so we should amend it. You're right. You're absolutely right, Susan. We should amend this to clarify.
Vestibule, yeah, right, that's the
For
terminology.
pricing engineering documents on pricing on engineering construction documents for Osgood or we'll just put JOS vestibule. Okay. So at the end of the last, well, second to last paragraph, first sentence, we'll just add the words for JOS vestibule. Do we have any other comments? Okay. So
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to write, is this is on the first page, at the end of the first page, sorry, at the bottom of the first page?
Under
Yes.
discuss school department request,
Okay,
So at the end of the first sentence, where it says engineering/construction documents, we'll just insert the words for JOS vestibule. And any other comments? Do we have a motion?
so moved.
Thank you, Susan. Do we have a second? I'll second.
I can't second it, yeah.
You cannot second, Francine.
That's right.
I'll second. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Great. Which brings us to January. So that brings us through to STM. This brings us to January 17th of 2023. And that is next on Corey's list. That makes it simple. So hopefully everyone has this open. Do we have any comments on this one?
No,
Ralph, you're able to find it?
I've got it. I'm looking at it. Yeah, sure. I don't see anything here. Right.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, move the minutes of January 17th, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons.
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin.
Susan Franklin, aye.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, that's January 17th. Brings us to January 25th of 2023, which is the next one down the list. And Corey's email. And I have no comments, but I'll give everybody a minute to open these up and
Yeah.
see if they've got comments.
Now just move the minutes of January 25th, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Okay,
Second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
It's January 25th. Next up, we have February 6th, and they are next in line on Corey's email. Give everybody a minute to open this up, and when somebody is ready, please make a motion. Or share comments, obviously, if you haven't.
I'll move the minutes of February 6th, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Francine. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, next up, we have the minutes of February 13th, 2023, which are next on Corey's email.
Comments?
Nope, and no comments from me. And anyone else?
Reads okay.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Susan. Do we have a second?
Second,
Second,
Thank you, Francine. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Perfect. Next, we've got March 1st of 2023, which not appear to be in order, but it's the last one.
It's
On
the last
Corey's
one,
email.
right?
Yep.
Okay, move the meeting of March 1st, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, that brings us to, how you doing, Francine?
Okay,
Okay, if we need to slow down, just let us know.
yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Moving on to, which is just it's the second to last one on Corey's email.
Did you say 3/8?
Yes. 3/8 of 2023. Looks like it's just gonna be me, Susan, and Ralph on this one as well.
Yeah, right. Move the minutes of March 1st, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Wait a minute, wait a minute. You said March 1st. We're on March 8th, aren't we?
March 8th.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Let me go back. I thought,
We are at that point in the meeting, Ralph. It's totally understandable.
Well, it could be me. Maybe I'm
no.
we're-
jumping ahead.
No, you're right. You're right.
Jumping
You're right.
ahead.
Run, Mark.
I pulled it up and I thought I had it. I didn't have it. Sorry about that. Okay, I guess move the minutes of March 8th, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. Well, bear with me 1 second, folks. All right. Pardon the interruption. Here in my very private office in my car. I thought I was safe, but I'm not. Okay, so that brings us to March 13th, which is somewhere on Corey's email. I think it was actually closer to the top than not.
Yeah, it is.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's not good. All right, does anyone have any comments on March 13th?
I do not.
No comments.
Actually, I do have one comment. Ralph, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I don't even have it up here.
Okay, let's just take a minute. I'll share my comment in the meantime. In the second full paragraph, right after the first sentence, the second sentence begins, many of the building system components are reaching end of life. I'd just like to insert at the beginning of that sentence, the district, uppercase D district, believes many of the building. And that was it for me. Ralph, just let us know when you're ready.
I'm all set. I've just read it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion including the amendment that I just suggested.
Motion to move the minutes of 3:13, including the insertion of the district in front of the number sentence.
The district believes.
The district believes, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the district believes. Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ralph. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay. We're on to March 22nd, 2023.
Time for dinner. Yeah, they're gonna need me.
We're on the home stretch here, folks. I have no comments on this. Are you able to find it, Ralph?
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No comments.
Someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Francine. Do we have a second?
And
Second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Thomas, or I.
Thank you. Then we're on to March 29th, 2023. Let me know when everyone's ready.
This was a significant vote, so this is important, right? Okay, move the minutes of March 29th, 2023.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So.
Thank you, Ralph and
Fran.
Francine.
Just a technicality in the last paragraph where we moved the vote,
Yes.
refer to the projects by number, but there's no reference to the projects by number. But we do know that that came from the list that the school provided. Do we have to specify that, or?
We could add clarification of the.
Probably right,
how
that
do we-
probably has to refer to a spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'm not sure this was just school requests. It looks like this was the entire, the prior paragraph suggests it's all of the items in the draft warrant. In fact, there are 3 that we cite as requiring additional discussion, and then when we do the vote, there are 3 that it says are still under discussion. Do you see that? Paragraph 1 and paragraph 2.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So these are items in the draft warrant.
Oh, okay, so
So I'd say for
To be
draft
clarified,
warrant
yeah.
projects, just insert insert the words draft warrant before projects in the second sentence of the second paragraph, second line of the second paragraph.
yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
mhm.
So if we just insert draft warrant before the word projects, 1, 2, 3, whatever.
The second paragraph on the second page, right?
Yeah, second page, second paragraph, second line. The second line begins with the word projects. Just insert the words draft warrant before projects.
Okay.
Why don't we go ahead and now that we've amended this, redo the motion.
Okay, we'll move the March 29th, 2023 amended with the word Yes, draft warrant projects in front of the word projects. Okay.
Perfect. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Susan, and Ralph, and we'll do a roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
and Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Perfect, which brings us up to April 5th, 2023. Yeah, so we voted the cleanup items in this one.
Yeah, that's right.
Those three outstanding items. We voted two of them when one of them, is getting taken care of out of the facilities budget.
Wait a minute, this is April 5th, 2023, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd punted three items from or deferred three items in the prior meeting, and these are the three items. Was schools was the middle school sewer line and the IT data center, and we voted two of them, and one of them got moved to the facilities maintenance budget.
Right.
When ready, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Susan. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Ralph. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Thank you. That brings us to April 26th. The end is in sight. April 26th, 2023. So we had a discussion and no vote.
Right. Yeah. This is just straightforward. Okay, now move the meeting of April 26, 2023.
Second,
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, I'll just make a note that, or a comment that we are missing the minutes from immediately prior to annual town meeting where we actually voted this item. So I'll go back and there's obviously no Zoom of that because we did it in the community room at the high school. So we'll go back and create the minutes on that. Which brings us to September 18th. So we had a vote to add requesting more information.
Yeah. Okay,
Any comments?
Yeah, now move the meeting of September 18th, 2023.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Susan. Roll call vote. Brian Host, aye. Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer.
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Okay, and that is it for our minutes. It looks like we've got three or four still outstanding, that we just need to clean up. One coming from you, Francine, and it looks like we're missing, 2 or 3 dates, where we actually took have to go back and figure out what those are. It may already exist. I mean, it's possible. But either way, we'll figure it out and we'll vote those at a future meeting. That's all I've got for this evening. Anything else that anyone would like to discuss before entertaining a motion to adjourn? All
Move to
right.
adjourn.
Thank you, Ralph. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Francine. Roll call vote. Francine Lyons,
Francine Lyons, aye.
Susan Franklin,
Susan Franklin, I.
Ralph Dormitzer,
Ralph Dormitzer, aye.
Brian Host, aye. The time is 7:15. We are now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for working through these minutes tonight. We're very close to being completely caught up, which is a good place to be. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Go
Thank
Celtics.
you.
Take care.